Hello, today I'm going to talk about what I've done to keep the underside of my 2018 GMC Sierra looking fresh and clean in the winter climates of Connecticut with the occasional ski trip to Vermont. And if you've watched some of our other videos, we've also taken it out on the beach down in the Outer Banks, as well as Assateague Island, all corrosive environments that are really rough on the vehicle. So today I want to talk about a couple of the chemicals and things that I use that I really appreciate, that I think work really good. After doing some research online, that the GM trucks, at least the 2500 I have, uses a wax type substance on the frames when they deliver the vehicles. And while it looks nice, it has a tendency to rub off. They say it's self-healing, that it warms up and kind of runs back over itself, which I don't necessarily think is entirely accurate, although I've seen some evidence of that. But what I did was I went online, figured out what it was. It's made by this Daubert chemical company. It's the Nox-Rust X-121B. You can find it online. I bought it directly from Daubert. Easy online purchase. It comes in these rattle cans, and then every time my truck goes in and gets serviced or goes up on a lift and the lift feet kind of scratch the wax off, I'll go under there and touch it up afterwards. Or if we've been driving in some gravel or rocks, I'll go in there and periodically take a peek and spray this back over top, and it seems to be doing okay with the consistent maintenance. Another thing you hear about all the time is fluid film, and I used this on a previous GM truck, which it worked well. Unfortunately, on the other truck I'd already done an undercoating, and it was the heavy, I don't even know what it was, but the black material, kind of like the tough stuff they put on the truck beds. And I found that over time that material was cracking and liquids were getting in behind it, so the fluid film worked pretty well after. The problem is with the fluid film, you'll see online that it oftentimes attacks or softens the wax film, so you have to be careful when you're applying it. Thus far I've done rattle cans. It takes me about 4 cans, and I'll do the whole truck underneath, but I won't go near the frame or the crossbars that are wax coated because it softens it. And then finally, I use the rust reformer from Rust-Oleum. When I do find a spot that's problematic, I'll spray that on because it converts the rust over, and then I'll touch it up with one of these other 2 products. So we just got back after a beach run, and so I'm going to show you the results underneath. So this is underneath the truck. We dropped the spare tire off yesterday, opened it up so we could see really well. But you can see up along the bottom of the bed there, that greasy stuff is the fluid film that then gets the dust and everything on it. And what I found interesting is that, and a lot of people complain about this, but if you look right there, you'll see the clean spots, the bare metal. That's where I've hit it with a pressure washer after being on the beach. And as you can see, the pressure washer cleaned off a lot of the fluid film. So that's something to be aware of. I kind of like the idea that, I can clean it off and see what's going on underneath all this dust and everything. Although some people don't like that. But that's something to be aware of. And then you'll notice here is a good example on the cross rail here, that's what the wax, when it wears off, kind of looks like. So that's going to get touched up. I'll touch that up. And then I noticed underneath, when we dropped the tire down, that the spots right there, try to get the light a little better, right there, and over there, and back up there, there were spots where the spare tire was rubbing on the wax and rubbed all the wax right off, and I had a little bit of surface rust. So by dropping the tire and seeing that, I cleaned that up with WD-40 and a rag, got the surface rust off, and then I sprayed it with the Rust-Oleum yesterday, so that's been sitting for a day now drying. So I'm going to hit that stuff with the wax coating, because this crossbar here, this guy's got the wax, and this guy had the wax coating, as well as the frame there. So I'm going to get that all done up, and then the truck's on its way into my local body shop, and I'm going to have them re-fluid film it all instead of me doing it with rattle cans. And I'm just going to tell them to make sure to not get it all over the frame rails for me, and get the rest of it all cleaned up so it'll stay looking as good as it has been thus far. It's also worth mentioning that this vehicle right now is 26 months old and has 36,000 miles. So not looking too bad. All right, we got the truck back yesterday, and I have driven it for a day now, and you can see the fluid film is all over the place, which is good. Maybe add a little more on the top of that. A couple spots. A little more on the frame than maybe I would like, but doesn't seem to be having any immediate adverse reaction with the GM wax. I'm gonna go, I'll show you in the back here. You got the leaf springs good. Got the bumper stop there. Does smell pretty bad. And then underneath, you can see pretty well soaked under here. So we'll check back in a little bit, see how it does. This has definitely gone on way better than when I did it with the rattle cans. Like, it's just absolutely soaked. So hopefully this will really work out well for us.